Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 67 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on my writing. So, yay, I made it to day 67. And believe it or not, I actually did a little bit of writing today. I really wanted to work on one of my books or my stories, and I couldn't think of something. My mind was just blank, and I'm like, come on, I got all these stories, I got all these things, and I opened up my laptop and I'm just like staring at the pages. I'm like, there's gotta be something. And my vision board friends kept popping into my head. So spoiler alert, if you're watching this, you should check your email from me first. um, anyway, just kind of a minor heads up because I'm going to talk about my friend, so I want her to check her email first. But so I did kind of a name poem like I've been doing, but I did it a little bit differently tonight because all of these words that I have to describe my friend don't start with any of the letters of her name. And I was like very frustrated because I'm like, God, how am I supposed to do this if they don't do that, if it doesn't work? So I typed up this document and I decided to use the words that describe my friend, and then whatever letters of her name fit with that word, I made it big, like big huge font, but it's like in the middle of the word or like the second letter of the word or the fourth letter of the word is like the letter for her name. So it's kind of does a little follow the name, kind of does a little zigzag thing. I think her first name, with the exception of one letter, I'll start with the first letter, with the letter from her name. And I think most of the rest of them don't. A couple of them do, but most of the rest of them don't. But it was kind of a fun, different way to do the little name poem things. And part of it's like, I'm done doing poems. I don't want to do poems. I have these big, huge, long stories. And my poems don't tell stories. And I know other people that write poems and amazing poems. And I've written poems and things for people that have passed away in my life. So this is just kind of I guess it's just kind of a fun way for me to express how I feel about other people, or to share a little bit of my talent. My kids today got to open theirs for Christmas. It was so cute to see my middle son. He was looking at it. He's like, I don't get it. And so then I explained it to him. And then his eyes kind of like teared up. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. He's like, I love it just because you made it. And then he kind of set it aside. He didn't read it like it was too emotional for him or something. It was cute. And then my daughter was like, oh, good, because I need to put something else on my wall. I need something else for my walls. I'm going to hang this up in my room. And she, of course, sat there and read the whole thing. So it was awesome to see that and to know that something that I wrote about them, said about them, it touches people's lives. And I'm grateful for that gentle reminder that we can use our words to build and uplift people, or we can use our words to be cruel and tear people down. And it also works on ourselves too. We can say nice, caring things about ourselves and the things that we're doing, or we can call ourselves names and get frustrated at ourselves for not living up to our expectations or where we want to be. And we respond based on how we treat ourselves, based on how we talk to ourselves and how we talk to other people, and they respond based on how we talk to them. So if we're nice, we use nice words, we encourage them, we point out their talents, things that we love and appreciate about them, then they blossom, they bloom, they like open up and they're like, oh, this is so cool, this person appreciates me, they like me. And if we do the opposite, if we put them down, then people will shut down and they will close themselves off emotionally, and they give up, they quit trying. I mean, there's some people out there that, despite all odds, they'll just be stubborn and barrel through and do it anyway. I wish I was one of those people. I'm not one of those people. Some people might say that, but I'm like, nah. No, I just shut down and do nothing person, and it's very hard for me to come out of my shell, to do all of these things. It's the barreling through thing is not in my nature. I'm changing it. I'm kind of making myself do this, but it's not easy for me. And I find it interesting, the lessons that I'm learning, that God is teaching me as I'm doing my writing, and the things that I have been inspired to write. And especially at this Christmas season, to write a Merry Christmas poem about the Savior, to write about. And it all started a few weeks ago when I did a poem about myself, and um, it was it was just something that um, popped into my head as something to do, to write, because I was tired and I wasn't feeling good and I needed to write something, or frustrated or whatever. And it was just the nicest little self-esteem boost, and to just kind of show my little character. I'm like, hey, I did this. This is so cool. Um, and then it sparked the idea to do it for my kids and for my brother and his family. And um, today I was just thinking about my friend and doing something for her. And it was so sweet because I opened my Christmas presents. Well, actually, my kids opened my Christmas presents. I like letting them open the presents. It's fun. But my son was so cute. He's like, oh, look, it's a poem. And I was like, because he could feel the frame. It's like, oh, it's a picture. It's like, oh, it's going to be another poem. And I was like, no, I didn't write a poem about myself. And I'm like, okay, well, I did write a poem about myself, but I didn't type it up. I didn't print it out. So that's not what it's going to be. And I just finished telling him that's not what it's going to be. And he opens it up, and that's exactly what it is. It was the poem that I'd written, and my friend had printed it out and framed it for me, like I had done with all the other pictures, the ones I did for my kids. And I was like, oh, that's just so sweet of her to do that. So, um, kind of, in return, I wrote a poem with her name. So, but I don't have the ability to print it out. That is something I need to at some point remedy. Um, but I am grateful for her generosity in helping me do that. Ooh, I should have used that word too. Generous. Ah, dang it. Think of all these new words that I can add and forget. Didn't think about when I was doing the poem, but that's okay. There's always more things, more ideas. There's always, if you look for the positive things, the good things, you always find them. And there's always more, and you can always think of more. And if you look for the negative things, the same is true for that as well. It's just a matter of which direction you're looking. And I'm so grateful that I did that 100 days of gratitude before my writing. And I'm so grateful for the things that I've been inspired to write, because as much as I want to finish my book, Recognizing God's Hand in My Life, it does require me to delve into negative thoughts and negative feelings. And it's hard for me to face my emotions, and it's hard to face a lot of those things. So I'm grateful that God allows me to balance it out with positive things, with beautiful poems, with other ideas, other inspiration. And it just makes me feel very blessed, and it reminds me how much God is a part of my life and a part of who I am, and how much He has helped me to survive all the things that happened to me. And tonight I was out driving around with another friend, and we were looking at Christmas lights, and I was talking about how nostalgic that makes me, because that was one of the few happy memories in my childhood. And I was like, oh wait, doing all of this work, I can start remembering some happy times, some good things that we did, things that I like to do, continue to do as an adult, because they had a positive impact on me. So it wasn't all negative, but sometimes the good and the positive things, they get shrouded, they get buried underneath the negative. And as I'm digging out the negative, as I'm getting rid of the negative things in my life, as I'm letting go of those things, the positive things, the good things are coming to light, and I'm able to see them a little bit more clearly. And I'm very grateful for that. And it helps to bring me peace and comfort. And hopefully it'll help to give me a little bit more strength and courage to finish my books. But I'm sure there's a reason that everything happens the way that it does, and there's the timing, and it's God's timing, and it's His ideas. And when I pray about it and I get that inspiration as to what to write or what to work on, it comes out, and I feel good about it. And when I try to force myself to do it, or force myself to work on things I don't want to, God will still help me do that, because He knows I'm very stubborn, and He will help me do it. But it's a lot harder to fight myself to do those things. And usually if I get into the book or the story, I can do it. But it's not one of those where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to be zoned into this for 8 to 10 hours. I could just don't want to stop. The times I don't want to stop are the times that I know that it's what I'm supposed to be working on. So I'm trying to learn to not fight myself, to not fight God, to just be like, okay, what is it I'm supposed to work on? What is it I'm supposed to write today? what is popping into my mind that I can work on. And I'm grateful for the things that have popped into my mind. I'm grateful for the things that I've been able to write. And I am grateful I kind of cheated yesterday, but I still did a little video because I just, life happens, and some things are more important than others. And I was really grateful today that I wrapped all the presents and did all of that last night because my kids really enjoyed being able to open all of those presents today, and I got to enjoy watching them open it. So it made it totally worth it. Totally worth it. And I would have been scrambling trying to figure that out today, and it would not have been a happy thing if I had not done it last night. So, but that's also what I get for procrastinating until like the day before Christmas or the morning of, however you want to look at that. I'm very good at the whole procrastinating thing too, avoidance thing. One of these days I might learn how to stop doing that. But it takes time to undo or change default settings to focus on something else. It takes that time to see the difference, to see the choices, and then to remember that I want to make the different choice, that I want to face it no matter how hard it is. And that is a lot harder for me sometimes, even though I know that's the better choice. I still struggle with making that one. But I'm grateful that I'm more aware of my choices. I'm grateful for the things that I've been able to learn through my writing. I'm grateful I can still find things to be grateful for. And I'm hoping I've said I was grateful for something in all of these videos that I've done as my writing. And if not, I'm sorry. Because I think it's a good thing to continue to be grateful and to continue to have God in my life and ask Him what it is that I'm supposed to be writing about. Because I think it helps to improve my writing. It helps me to see my creativity, to see myself a little bit more clearly, to experiment with my talents, to experiment with different things, and to know that I'm not limited to just one thing. I'm not stuck in a little box. I've never felt comfortable stuffed in a box. I've always been like, I don't feel like I fit. I'm not square. I'm kind of round. I'm kind of all over the place. I don't fit in this. And I'm grateful I don't have to try to fit in a box. I'm grateful that I can see that I can spread my wings and go lots of different directions. And it's okay. And even if I'm just consistently writing, even if it's not consistently in one book, it's okay. If it's kind of scattered and all over the place, it will all come together eventually. I know that it will. I know that's how it works. That's how it has worked in the past, so I'm sure that's how it will continue to work. I think my biggest frustration is I just don't know what order everything has to be done. And I'm like, okay, I want to do this and this and this, and I can't do everything else. I can't do it all at once. I can do it eventually all over time, just not all at once. And so it's picking and choosing, which one am I gonna do today? What am I gonna work on right now? And the ones that I choose to work on seem to be the things that I need, that give me that confidence boost, or that help me to be grateful, or that remind me that God is in my life, or that allow me to take a break from some things that are difficult so that I can go back refreshed and recharged and be like, okay, I can do this again. I'm ready to start over. I'm ready to try it again. I'm good. So I'm grateful for that. I'm very grateful for those things, and I'm grateful that I could do this video. And I'm grateful I get to go to bed early tonight because I chose not to work because it's Christmas and because I'm exhausted. So, but I'm grateful I was still able to do some writing, and I think that's all that I have today. So if this video helps in any way, if you like it, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll enjoy it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude and maybe some writing.